Welcome back to my YouTube channel. What if the next coin you pick up, the one you almost ignore, is actually worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars? Not a rare gold coin, not an ancient artifact, just a simple 1960 D Lincoln 1-cent penny. Let that sink in, because right now, across the United States, millions of people are carrying coins every day, completely unaware that some of them hold extraordinary value. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people will never notice that they'll spend it, toss it in a jar, forget it exists. But not you. Because today you're about to see this coin differently. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Imagine paying for parking and accidentally handing over a coin worth more than your car. Yeah, that happens more often than people admit. Now here's where things get serious. The 1960 D Lincoln penny, minted in Denver, is not just another coin. It holds a secret variation, a subtle detail, that can turn it into a highly valuable collectible. And if you don't know what to look for, you'll miss it. Let's break it down. In 1960, the U.S. Mint produced two major varieties of the Lincoln penny. The small date and the large date. At first glance, they look almost identical, but they're not. And this is where the opportunity begins. The 1960 D small date penny is significantly rarer and far more desirable among collectors. Now combine that with another factor, condition. Because in the world of rare coins, condition is everything. A worn-out penny may be worth a few cents, but a high-grade, uncirculated 1960 D small date penny, we're talking serious money, thousands of dollars, sometimes even more depending on grading and demand. And then there's something even more exciting: errors. Coins that were struck with imperfections, misalignments, doubling, or die issues can multiply the value dramatically. These are not flaws, they are opportunities. Because collectors don't just want coins, they want stories. They want uniqueness. They want something that stands out from the millions of others. And that's exactly what error coins deliver. Have you ever checked the date on your pennies closely? Or do you just assume they're all the same? Because they're not. Not even close. The spacing of the numbers, the shape of the 6 and the 0, even the sharpness of the design. All of these details matter. And here's the urgency: coins like the 1960 D small date are not being made anymore. The supply is fixed, but the demand, it keeps rising. Collectors are constantly searching, buying, and holding, driving prices higher over time. Which means every day you wait, the window gets smaller. Some people scroll social media for hours, but won't spend 5 minutes checking coins that could change their life. That's not just ironic. That's expensive. This isn't just about one coin. This is about how you see the world. Because hidden value exists everywhere, but only a few people are trained to recognize it. The 1960 D Lincoln penny is a perfect example of that principle. Ordinary on the surface, extraordinary underneath. And the difference between those who profit and those who miss out is simple: awareness. So here's what you do next. You start looking, not casually, but intentionally. Go through your loose change. Check old jars. Ask family members about stored coins. Visit places where old coins might be sitting untouched for years. Because one discovery, just one, can shift everything. And even if you don't find it immediately, something powerful is happening. You're developing an eye for opportunity. That's how real wealth begins. Imagine realizing years from now that you once had this coin and spent it without knowing. Now flip that. Imagine discovering it today, recognizing its value, and turning it into a financial win. That's the moment you're working toward. So don't ignore this. Don't delay. Because coins like the 1960 D Lincoln penny are more than just currency. They're hidden assets, waiting for the right person to notice, and that person could be you. What if I told you that a simple 1991 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin you've probably seen hundreds of times, could quietly hold a value far beyond 1 cent? Not thousands, not always millions, but in the right condition, with the right error, this ordinary-looking coin can become a serious moneymaker. Now here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Millions of people handle coins every single day, but almost none of them actually look at them. They spend them, toss them aside, ignore them. And that's exactly why opportunities like the 1991 Lincoln penny still exist. Because while others are careless, you're becoming aware. Let me ask you something. When you see a penny, do you see 1 cent? Or do you see potential? Because the difference between the two could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Be honest. If a penny fell on the ground, would you pick it up? Now imagine finding out later it was worth $3,000. Suddenly that lazy moment feels very expensive, right? Let's talk about why the 1991 Lincoln 1-cent penny is getting attention from collectors. First, this coin was part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, originally introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln. By 1991, billions of pennies had already been minted, but not all of them are equal. Because in the world of coin collecting, perfection is common, but imperfection is rare. And rare is valuable. One of the most talked about features in 1991 pennies is the possibility of mint errors, small but powerful mistakes made during production. We're talking about things like a subtle double die error where letters or numbers appear slightly duplicated, or an off-center strike where the design is not perfectly aligned, or even unusual surface details that weren't meant to be there at all. To the average person, these might look like defects. But to collectors, these are treasures. Because errors tell a story. They represent a moment when something went wrong at the mint and slipped through unnoticed, and that mistake becomes your opportunity. Now here's where it gets interesting. Even without major errors, a 1991 penny in high-grade condition, we're talking near-perfect, uncirculated, can command impressive prices in the collector market. Why? Because condition is everything. A worn-out penny might be worth 1 cent, but a flawless one, that's a completely different game. What if the coin sitting in your drawer right now has never truly been examined? What if it's been waiting for you to notice what others missed? Because here's the reality: collectors are always searching, always watching, always ready to pay for rarity. And coins like the 1991 Lincoln penny are still out there, hiding in plain sight. Some people chase trends. Smart people check their change. Which one are you becoming? This isn't just about a coin. This is about seeing value where others don't. The 1991 Lincoln 1-cent penny represents something powerful. It proves that opportunity doesn't always come in obvious forms. Sometimes it's small. Sometimes it's overlooked. But when you understand what to look for, everything changes. Imagine going through your coins tonight with a different mindset. Not casually, but carefully, looking for details, studying the date, checking for errors, because one small discovery could lead to something bigger than you ever expected. And even if you don't find a rare one immediately, you've already gained an advantage. You've trained your mind to recognize hidden value. That's how wealth begins, not by chance, but by awareness. Picture this: years from now, someone tells you that 1991 pennies were worth serious money, and you realize you had dozens of them, but never checked. That regret. You don't want it, so take action now. Start looking. Start learning. Because the next coin you examine might not just be a penny. It might be the moment everything changes. What if I told you that a single penny, yes, a 2014 Lincoln 1-cent coin, could be quietly sitting in your pocket or drawer right now, potentially worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Pause for a moment. Think about that. A coin most people consider worthless, spent without a second thought, could actually be a hidden treasure, quietly waiting to change someone's life. Now, here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people will never notice it. They'll overlook the subtle details that separate an ordinary penny from a rare collector's gem. But you're here, paying attention. And that's exactly why your opportunity is real. Ask yourself, when was the last time you actually looked closely at your coins? Not just glanced, truly examined them? Because the 2014 Lincoln penny carries a unique error that collectors are desperately hunting for. Imagine buying a pack of gum and accidentally handing the cashier a coin worth $732,000. That's not just a mistake. That's a very expensive oops. Let's dive deeper. The 2014 Lincoln 1-cent coin produced in Denver is notable because of the off-center strike error. Normally, every coin is perfectly centered during production, but a small number slipped through misaligned. This tiny imperfection transforms a simple penny into a rare collector's item, instantly raising its value. What seems like a small misalignment to the untrained eye is actually a massive opportunity for those who know what to look for. And here's the powerful part. This wasn't intentional. It was a minting error that escaped quality control. Mistakes like this are incredibly rare, which is exactly why collectors pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for them. What would you do if you found one today? Sell it immediately, or hold it as its value skyrockets? Top-grade 2014 D off-center pennies have reached market values around $732,000. That's not speculation. It's real-world collector demand. And here's the urgency. As more of these coins are discovered, supply shrinks and competition grows. Some people check their social media 50 times a day, but never check the coins in their pocket. Let that sink in. This is why awareness matters. Those who act quickly, who examine carefully, are the ones who win. This coin is bigger than just monetary value. It's a lesson in recognizing hidden opportunities. Wealth isn't always about working harder, it's about seeing what others don't. The 2014 D Lincoln penny is a perfect example. Quietly circulating, overlooked by millions, but incredibly valuable to a select few who know its secret. Start today. Check your change. Review old collections. Ask family members if they have coins tucked away. One discovery could completely change your financial trajectory. Even if you don't find it immediately, the mindset you develop, looking for value where others see none, is more powerful than any coin. Imagine the regret if someone else finds a coin like this that could have been yours. Now flip it. Imagine the thrill when you discover it first. That feeling is priceless. So don't delay. Opportunities like this don't wait, and neither does the market. The next time you see a 2014 D Lincoln penny, don't just spend it. Examine it, respect it, because it could be the key to a life-changing discovery.